William, what do you call it? Gunda. Huh? We have that. And of course, since I'm delivering, even if you don't agree, but consider me as a hero. Okay? So here we go. And then most of my presentation, since it is a movie, most of my presentation will be still picture. Few videos are there just to show you our place. So basically, I'll be telling you about my place, my journey, or our journey, for say. And as you can see, title of the movie is Restoring Roots, Intervening Ecology with Culture. Since this is a conference of restoring ecology, but let me tell you that for us, restoring is about restoring relationship, restoring bondings, restoring not only with ecology or any social science, but it's with restoring relationship with our community, relationship with our ancestral land, relationship with, you can say, spirit world. So all these things I'll be talking about. Of course, I'll show you where we belong, because many of you are from maybe other parts of India. So you can see where this particular community conserved area lies. There's a place called Roing in Arunachal Pradesh, in Dibang Valley district. So that's the Roing, in the red color. That does it have? Okay, it doesn't work. So in the red color, you can see that is the CCA. So then this CCA comes under this one, Lower Dibang Valley. So like the movies, let's go back to the 20 years back. Thoda sa history, some history. So this particular CCA, we call it Elopa Etugu Eco-Cultural Preserve. So this is around 76 square kilometers. So the history of this place is that we used to live here in 70s. This is our ancestral land, but we have to migrate from this particular land because of the flood that came in the Dibang River, which is one of the major tributary of Brahmaputra. So because of that flood in 70s, that took our cultivable land and a part of our village. So because of that, we shifted from there. And then we are now in different parts of the different villages of the lower Dibang Valley districts. So we are no more in the same village. We are in the different villages of the lower Dibang Valley. So, and basically here you have the ancestral land of 4 clans in Idu Mishmi. There are many clans, and out of that 4 clans belongs from there. I am Pulu, we have Lingi, Mitapo, and Menda. So this is some little thing about the history of this particular, our CCA, Community Conserved Area. We call it EECEP. So, like I said, we migrated from there, and that was a kind of vacant land. So that became an open space for everyone to extract the resources. People, they used to go there, they hunt there, and they extract the forest resources, they hunt extensively. So in these 20 years, then after a few years back, when we came back as a learned person, so-called, then we among the youngs, we had discussion. Let's do something for our ancestral land. Then we thought what to do. So that's where we came across with a Dibang team. There's a team called Dibang. We can talk about it more in maybe after the presentation. So we took the help of Dibang team, and then we put the cameras in our areas. So when we put the cameras in our areas, we were very surprised to see that still we have 42 mammal species. And some of the mammal species that was recorded for the first time for those areas. Then these are and among them, this is a hog deer. Basically, they live in the grassland. Like yesterday, I also said that our CCA is a combination of both. You have grassland as well as you have the mountain ecosystem. So this particular species, they live in the grassland. And the grasslands was the main place where that become the battle, hunting ground. So we were wondering whether these species are still there or not. But we are a bit happy to say that in few cameras they came. So that was kind of, and then this hog deer also there. In we also that the number must have very less, but then when we see the data, those numbers were in quite a high number. So we share the data with our community member, and then we also share with the data with the neighboring community member. So I'll just be fast. Then we decided let's do something like in a maybe organized way. So we have been protecting our place in the old age, like I said, there's a culture in the indigenous people that we respect each other's clans lane. So let's do some kind of those things in a organized way. So we discussed, and then first thing we did is we on the boundaries, we walked on the boundaries where our boundaries lies, because our indigenous boundaries are based on the rivers, based on some trees. So what happens, like often, river changes the direction, trees fell down, so there's always a controversy. So what we did, we call upon the neighboring clan, and then we fixed our boundary. So that's where, that's where the idea of, this CCA came about. And that time CCA was also new for me. So introduced the CCA idea. So you can say the script writer comes here. And the script writers, I would say, we have a person like my brother, like GB Pulu, Sahil Nijawan is there. So those people, they helped me out, they told us, they share the idea about the CCA. So that's where we thought that let's, declare it as a CCA. So on 3rd June 2022, officially we declared our community land as a CCA. In the Roing town in the community hall, and we call each one, like all the politicians, all the bureaucrats, all the forest people, and the neighboring villagers, and few who's and who, we call each one of them in a big hall, and then we declare. And then the main thing we said that we are not doing anything new, we are just trying to restore our old age tradition, so you also respect that. You respect, this is no more a open space, this is no more a free land now, this will be looked up by us, so kindly respect it. So that was the main theme of that, and then of course we discuss about rules, regulations, all those things. And this is the overall structure, just have a glimpse. So this is how the structure of EECEP, and then we have technical advisor, honorary member, and the management committee, which is, I'm one of the member, and then we have rangers, community rangers. We are, like I said, we have 4 clans. So each clans have 1 rangers. Those who are unemployed, they are salaried. So they are, working in the field. And then we have coordinators, 2 coordinators, and then we have 1 residential researcher. So overall, what we do is we do sustainable use of resources, and then we do all these things, and then I'll be talking about it one by one. So, like I said, we now live in different villages. We hardly meet each other. So we do certain activities just to, you can say restore our relationship, just to restore our bondings. So we do different activities. These are one of them. And then we also do some social service. Because in every monsoon, the roads are taken away, especially in the river beds, the roads are taken away by the rivers. So even after the, like onset of monsoon, then every year community member, we go there and again we build the road. So that's how it becomes a gathering, bonding, and that's where also sometimes we spend time in the 2-3 days we spend time in that particular ancestral land, and then we call the youths, and then there we learn about from different aspects from our elders. Then of course we have some infrastructures out there, and these infrastructures and all the labor or all the works were done by the community members. You can see the youths and the elders, they do come, and then we try to build most of them in a traditional way. So one of them is, this one is particularly at the entrance gate. This is a camp of community rangers. All the community rangers, they stay here. And then we use it for the meetings and maybe some, interns. For those things, we use this. Then of course, in EECEP, one of the main things we do is research. So in research, basically we try to see that one of the main thing we do is the camera trapping, and we try to see how many animals we have. So you can see they are like, on the center, he is our residential researcher, Iha, and then on the left side, you have Iho, coordinator, and then one of the community rangers. So these are the areas where we have put the cameras, and so far we have done 4 rounds of camera trapping, and then in the 5th round we will be putting in this coming December in our this ECEP. So just to tell you, it was more surprising for us that at that time, the same time we have a wildlife sanctuary just nearby, Meha Wildlife Sanctuary, nearby our ECEP or Community Conserved Area. So that same time they have published some data. So we just compare our data with them. So we wanted to see the change. And this particular wildlife is 3 times bigger than our CCA. So we were very, again, shocked to see the result. Look at the results. These are some of the results we got. Like we have around 4, at that time, first camera trapping, we had around 4 individuals of clouded leopard, and then see the difference. So it is to think, it is for you to think that there's a place, the wildlife sanctuary, where governments pump in crores of money, and there's a place, there's a community conserved area or community protected area. So you can see the difference. So that was something surprising. And see, these are some of the videos. I'll just skip very fast since I don't have much time. So this is wild dog. We call it Aprupru, golden Asiatic cat. Apango, we call it, yeah. So again, we thought that since we have data of different years, so let's see the, let's compare the baseline data and then the data which we have, the latest one. So you see you can see blue one is of 2021, the baseline, and then the orange one is of 2023. So when we compared the data, we were very, it was very good, kind of good indication, or we were very encouraged to see that almost all the animals, their numbers are increasing. They were growing. See, I'll not explain much, but you can see the just graph. This is Himalayan Sero, Sambar. And like I said, this particular, this one, species, hog deer. In our baseline, that photo, like I said, this is in the grassland. So when we stopped hunting only for 2 years, two years, then we saw the changes. Usually these hog deers, they live in herd, they live in group. And when we put the first camera in the grasslands, we could find individual hog deers, that too in the night. They comes in the night, 1 or 2 individuals in few cameras. But in 2023, we have seen that now they are forming herds again. Now these are the indication that even the wildlife are restoring because of the initiative that we are taking. So this is just a graph again, just to compare the baseline of hog deer and Indian hare also. Of course, they live in grassland too. And of course, we do some research in gibbons. In ECP, one of the main focus area is research in gibbons, because of course we do focus in other animals, but then gibbons is one of the a bit of focus we put there, because our fundings comes from the conservations of these large primates. So that is why we do this one, research on this, and wherein we are trying to know that how many gibbon families are there in our area. So you can see those red circles, that is the place where our gibbons are there. And then 11, as of the latest survey, or latest our data shows that we have around 11 families in this particular area. So this is a, so we don't have audio, so you cannot hear the sound, but you can hear our, these researchers and the coordinators. They are going to the field and then doing the, trying to identify the place where the gibbons are located. Anyway, so there's no sound, so let's skip. And then these are the different years that we survey. 2023, 2024, and 2025. So you see that in 2003, you see 7 families, because at that time we surveyed in a smaller area. So next year we surveyed in a bigger area. And then in 2025, we could not survey in that particular area where there were 2 families. So because of this, that change is there. Then of course, related to gibbon, what we are doing again is that we are trying to understand from the community members, because our community, our hunters, they have been living with these gibbons for long. So instead of going to the scientific way, we are trying to understand that what kind of trees gibbon prefer, where they prefer to live, say, and how do they behave? Are you seeing any changes over the year in the behavior? So we try to understand those things also. And we, of course, we are collecting the stories, folk tales that is related to the gibbons. So there's a shortest of time, so I will not narrate this story. And of course, we are again trying to look at our tree compositions, because our, these gibbons or hornbills, they are mostly dependent on the trees, kind of trees, the fruits. So that is why we are interested to see the composition of our trees in our CCA. So this, we have around 20 transects we have made, and out of 20 transects, as of now, we have done a complete survey in the 10 transects, and this is just a preliminary result. We haven't published it, and it's like from the around 10 transects. So you can see average number of trees, and the distance we take is a 500-meter long that one transect, and then 5 meter left, 5 meter right, whatever the species comes, we record it. So this is the preliminary result. Then we also try to just to see that what are the most common species we have and what are the rarest species we have. Then through that local knowledge, when we ask to the elder and then hunters, these are the data from that. Which are the fruits or trees they prefer by the gibbons. So these are the names from our own Idu Mishmi, and then you have scientific name. And we have seen that few names out here, it's there in the rarest list in EECEP. So that is where now we are planning to do, let's do something about this particular species, which is rare and which is the favorite of gibbons. So that is next steps to do for us. Of course, in this one survey, we take our elders, because we don't know all the names of the plants in our language. So that is why we take them. Then one more thing, what we are doing is, this is outside the EECEP. So we are trying to understand. We are studying the gibbons which are there in the plains, because plains are the place where most destruction happens. Most forest has been cleared off. So we are trying to understand this particular aspect, and recently we have started. So actually, I'll just tell you one thing. A few years back, one of the organizations, what they did is just to, they have tried to catch the gibbons in these areas. And they catch the gibbons, and they have tried to relocate in the Mehar Life area. And that was a total failure. Because that did really, the result outcome was, not at all you can say, though they have shifted, but then as per the, record, almost all the gibbons did not survive, maybe 1 or 2, but then, so that approach was quite wrong. So we thought that let's do something else. So that is why we, divide the whole, this plain part into a few grids, and what we are doing is, we are going to the particular grid, and then in that particular grid, we are trying to understand where the gibbons is located, and how is the land use of that particular grid. how people are using it, and what is the relationship with people and the gibbons out there. So let's see what result comes, and the next step, what we will do after the result comes, then we will see for some better alternative for the gibbons. And of course, we do wilderness course. I will not talk about much about it. I'll just say that you come join this wilderness course, and you'll find it is very interesting. And this is the way to share our knowledge to the outsider, as well as this is the way to generate revenue. So help us in generate revenue. Do come. So you can follow EECEP Instagram Elopa Etugu. You'll get all the details. So you see different activities we do. I will not talk about much. Of course, Payal and Harsa, they are the co-partners of this particular Idu Mishmi wilderness course. And then we do also slow storytelling program. So this is not really scientific. This is about storytelling journey. A journey to meet our elders, journey about knowing the different little stories, folk tales about the forest, animals, and then to spend some quality time in the jungle. So we do this, have this program as well. Then Bengal florican, this is one of the rarest species of bird that you will find in our place. So we give exposure to our own people as well. So they are our researchers and coordinators. And of course, there are many community learning we do. Many from the Arunachal and from outside the state, they are coming and they are learning from us, and we are learning from them as well. So from Nagaland also, they came. And this is the revenue generation or outreach model that we are doing. So you see entry fee and research fee, that becomes one of the important revenue fee, because to enter from this gate, you have to pay 500 rupees. And then if you are here for some research, we have certain categories. On the basis of that, we get this one fees. And the course fees, from wilderness course, from storytelling course, from Bengal florican, that one. And then contribution from visitors. The visitors, they do come, and if they like our initiative, they contribute. That is there. And then youth adventure camp. So their camp happens in that particular area, youth. So we take fees from youths, that particular organizer to conduct this. Then fishing tenders, we have small streams. We allow, you can say traditional way of this one, fishing, and then we give it for this one tender. And then selling of plantations. And of course, we do have challenges. There are many challenges. You can see these are the cattles. In the grassland, they are impacting so much in the grassland. So we are trying to see what we can do about this cattle. They are from our community, nearby clans. So we are doing that. That's become a challenge for us. And then this particular grassland, there's weeds problem. There's a problem of weeds, lantana. So I'm sure for that also we may need help, and we cannot, that's not in our control. So we may need experts like you, like a scientific expert to restore our grasslands. And our vision, these are our visions. We do go for some exposure trips, and then we do attend the conferences, and wherein these are some of the things we are trying to do. We are now trying to build a tourist facility. And that will be, earlier I have shown you the infrastructure that we developed, that is through the contribution from the community. That was free of cost. Now what we are thinking that we develop one tourist maybe facility where the community will be the shareholders. That's a very broad plan. We will work more on that. Then we are planning to have nature guide training academy. So lastly, I'll just give you the broad picture of Dibang Valley. This is the Dibang Valley, you see. And then this is how they plan Dibang Valley for us. You see that the shaded part, that is wildlife sanctuary. And you see pink circle, those are the proposed dams. If you see, that upper part is called Dibang Valley, and the lower part is called Lower Dibang Valley, where Roing is there, our community forest is there, CCA is there. So you see, in the upper part, almost half of the, district is wildlife sanctuary. and that was declared without the consent of any community member. And now they are bombarding with the 17 proposed dam. So I don't know what to do, how to do, but that is where we think that we community members need to do something. That is where we thought that concept of CCA becoming very important for us. It is the time to do something from the community within. So then only we will have some lands to, for our generation, the younger generations. So in this proposed dams, 2 dams, they have already been given clearance. One dam is just near that red area, that is our CCA. That is Dibang Multipurpose Dam. That is around one biggest dam, and that will generate around 3,000 megawatt of that power. So you will have 288 meter of concrete wall out there. So you can see the impact it will have. Similarly, we have 17 more dams to come. So that is the thing that they have planned for us. So I don't know how to do, what to do, but we are trying to do. Let's hope so we will be able to save our land. And in the end, of course, like I said, you all are welcome. Welcome to our Dibang Valley as a tourist, as a, to take part in our these courses, and as a researcher. But when you come as a researcher, we have something called Idu Mishmi Code of Research Ethics. So whoever the researchers comes in this place, recently we have formed this, they have to come through this board. And I'm, by default, I don't know, but I'm part of that board again. So all the researchers, they come and then you have to tell us what you are going to do, because there were instances in the past. The researchers came, they did some research, they collected the data, they went back and they write something which were not really a true representation of our Idu Mishmi culture, or say an Idu Mishmi thing. So that is where this is one way to control those damages. And we don't deny researchers. We only tell them that share with us. There should be transparency, what you're going to do, what will be your method, whether you're going to have ethical considerations. So those things will be there or not, that we do. So that's it for my end. So in the end, I'll say our tradition makes us modern. Okay? So why I'm saying so? Because so-called modern people, so-called advanced people, they looked, not you of course, but in general, they look tribal community as primitive community, indigenous community, they don't know anything. This kind of conception is there somewhere. But look at us. Our tradition, our culture make us modern. Why so? Because now you're talking about sustainable development. You're talking about coexistence with nature recently. But we have been doing this since ages. So we are more modern than you. So that is the way forward. Thank you.